menace to sobriety. Just a menace, just a menace.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Menace to Sobriety. Big one today. Your boy hit 2 years sober on Saturday. 2 years sober. So how did I get to 2 years sober? But before I get into that, because I just wanted to give you just all the stuff in the 2 years sober. I want to give you all the things, the misconceptions, break down the triggers, everything I had to dedicate myself to, any advice for people starting out, and a load of stuff that hopefully anyone that's on this journey too will relate to, and in turn make you not feel so alone. That's what this podcast is about, right? But I just want to tell you how I feel today. This week I feel quite magical. That's a weird way to put it, but I feel strong, I feel together, I feel successful, but not successful in like money terms, I feel that good success. I feel that success in your inner self success. I feel like I'm a good person, which is nice. When was the last time you felt like a good person? Do you know what I mean? I feel like a good person. That's the best way to describe it. I feel calm, even though I do look off me nut 90% of the time because of my ADHD. But I do feel calm. I feel like a provider. I feel like a protector. I feel like a man. Good person keeps coming. I like that. I feel like I'm doing good things. But the main thing is my self-esteem. I can feel my self-esteem feels good. 2 years. It's been 2 years, and the biggest breakthroughs that I've had personally through this sobriety has been in the last 3 or 4 weeks, or this month, which I'll get into in a little bit. But I'm very happy. I had a wicked weekend. I'm going to show you a couple of clips of stuff that happened at the weekend at the end of the podcast. But let's get into it. 2 years sober, man. So I guess let's go all the way back to the beginning. For those of you that are just starting your sobriety journey, or even actually, let me jump back to some other people. Anyone that's watching or listening to this that's still drinking, using drugs, or whatever their vice is, that's considering going sober. What was the turning point for me? And I believe what it is realising your rock bottoms, because such a mad thing about addiction and drinking and using drugs and stuff like that is we go through so many rock bottoms. We don't even think they're rock bottoms. We just think it's just part of life, right? And I'm talking about like rock bottoms as in there's so much stuff that I did, that there's so many rock bottoms. I had a suicide. I had like I wanted to take my own life rock bottom after my father passed away, which you'd think would be a massive wake up call. I rang the Samaritans. I was high. I was off me nut on my own all night. Depressed and crying, and just saw no way out, and ended up for some reason ringing the Samaritans, and I still didn't connect my mental health with the drug taken and the alcohol. I just didn't do it. I just went, well, I'm losing my mind, I'm falling apart because my father had died, I'd lost my work and everything like that, but I still did not blame the booze or the alcohol, which I was just in the mix. I messed up work many times. I can remember I had a really important, this is just one, these are just random moments I'm going to pull out of thin air for you as examples of rock bottoms where we don't identify the rock bottom, right? So what I want you to do while you're listening or you're watching this is try and identify some of your rock bottoms that you just scrolled past like they were horrible videos on the internet. You just scroll past them, all right? So think of your rock bottoms, because I had many. I had the time I wanted to take my own life, which was a serious rock bottom. I had a time where I was taking all of my mother-in-law's prescription drugs, just popping pills, mad pills, with my brother after my father had passed away, and drinking straight bottles of wine in a day for weeks out of the bottle, like mental, but still just like, this is me just getting through whatever I'm getting through. Work was a big one. This is a story that I've never really told anyone, I don't think. I certainly haven't told it online, but I had a really good meeting with a film producer. I was introduced to, he's a famous actor, actually, a famous actor and a film producer, and I went up to Soho to meet them, to talk about doing some film work and potentially being in a film that they were making. But the night before, it was a weekend that I was meeting them, so the night before, It was a Friday night. People were going out. I knew that I had this important meeting on Saturday. It was like a lunch. I went out on the Friday night and I was like, I'll just go out for a few drinks. I'll be all right for tomorrow. But obviously, I didn't know at the time, but I was an addict. So a few drinks leaned into a lot of drinks, which leaned into getting on the Bugal. What I managed to do, I managed to moderate my Bugal taking that night because I knew I had this important meeting. So I went home, I only done half of whatever I had and I kept the other half in my pocket and I was like, put it in your jeans, forget about it, try and get some sleep because you've got this important meeting. That was me rationalising it. I'll only stay up till 4 o'clock, not 7. Do you know what I mean? I'll try and get a couple of hours sleep. Went all the way to Soho to do this meeting and walked in. Got really nervous because I was like hanging. I was like clearly on a massive come down and hanging, and I thought I started getting anxious and nervous, thinking I'm going to make a bad impression. They're not gonna like me, and also they're going to know that I'm hanging, and I just couldn't really string my words together. I was proper hungover, so I sat down and I had this idea in my mind that I'll just nip to the toilet and do a quick bump, and that'll fucking liven me up and give me whatever I'm missing here for this meeting. So I went downstairs into the toilet. I said, I'm just going to go to the toilet. I'll be back in a sec. Went downstairs into the toilets, had a bump, come back up, sat down, and my nose started bleeding in front of this producer. And I can just remember, like, it just being the most embarrassing, awkward situation. And that was it. It was... You know, the meeting finished quite quickly, and I think it was clear to everyone why my nose was bleeding because I looked so dishevelled and rough. And there was a guy in that meeting that is a really good pal of mine, good friend of mine, still is. He stuck with me. The other guy kind of was like, you know, it's not for me to work with you, but the other fella was a close friend as well, and he stuck with me, and I'm working with him now on things. But the other guy, just straight away, alarm bells were ringing, red flags. But I still didn't see that as a rock bottom. I just thought I fucked that up. And that is a massive thing about how to get to 2 years sober, how you're going to get, or how you're going to continue to be 2 years sober, is that honesty around rock bottoms. You've got to look back over your life. And I mean, I spend a lot of time doing it. Do you know what? I used to find it really difficult to do. I didn't used to be able to, like, I always speak about my wedding. That is the only thing now that I can't watch the video or the pictures because it hurts me so much. But I will get there. But I mean, it was a beautiful day. I try and justify it. I just know that I wasn't completely there, and there's bits I can't remember. But it's so healthy to look back at the other rock bottoms because you need proof. Because addiction and alcoholism, it's so sneaky. You know, it still to this day tries to say to me, you don't have a problem. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have a problem. So you need to realise your rock bottoms. The big rock bottom for me that was enough was when it affected my kids and my family, and obviously Shelley. I was in Marbella and I came back and I couldn't go home. And I've told this story many times, but I like to visualise it because it keeps me sober. Being in my grandma and granddad's house, they both passed away, and we were selling the house, and there was no furniture, nothing in there. I was on a blow-up bed in the lounge. There was a crucifix and like I dramatise it in my mind, which you can do. There's nothing wrong with dramatising it like it's a horrible movie, and I tell the story like, you know, I was on a blow-up bed in my grandma and granddad's house, and they'd passed away. It was eerie and dark, and they didn't even have a TV in there, and there was a crucifix up on the wall, and I remember looking at it feeling spiritual. But that was fucking true, and I was crying my eyes out on a blow-up bed. And that's what I remember. That's what I look back on. I look back on that rock bottom. Every time someone on Twitter says to me, mate, you didn't even have a problem. Oh, mate, I feel sorry. Yesterday I had a tweet where someone said, oh, mate, I feel sorry for people that can't moderate their drinking. You're like, mate, shut up, mate. Whatever, man. You're not going to convince me to go back to drinking just because you're drinking. But it does make you think. It does make you think. So you need the biggest step to progressing your sobriety journey, especially if you're at the beginning, right now you should be looking at and listing your rock bottoms, because you need proof that you are an addict, that it is a problem. Next big thing I'd say that you've got to do if you're going to go sober and you really want to do it, and this is probably one of the biggest things that I feel got me to 2 years, and that was completely dedicating myself to change. Like, I mean, there was no ifs, no buts. There wasn't, I'm going to try and do it, I hope to do it. It was like, I am dedicated 110% to changing. That is it. I'm going to rationalise it in my mind. I can remember thinking to myself, surely I'm an intelligent person with everything that I've managed to achieve in my life while being drunk. Do you know what I mean? Amassing the following that I have, pioneering some types of comedy content, being one of the first to blow up on social media. I've done all of that, selling out, getting a TV show, selling out tours, all of that stuff while drunk and abusing drugs. So I needed to rationalise it. So, you've done that. You've achieved stuff while under the influence and being addicted and being broken. Surely you can go sober, believe in yourself. Of course you can. It's just, you just got to dedicate yourself to it like you dedicate yourself to your family, or you dedicate yourself to comedy. Dedicate yourself, like I'm using my life, my things. There must be stuff that you dedicate yourself to. If you dedicate yourself to really, really looking at what the problem was and how to fix it, and going sober. I mean, this is a common saying that a lot of people say, that we romanticize alcohol and drugs because it's so fun, it's a good time. But you've got to look at it for what it was. It was destroying your life. It's weakness. It's weakness. It's weakness. Okay? People think, and I get this a lot, again, on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook, people think you're weak if you can't moderate your drinking, right? Oh, that's what, you can't have one or two. Oh, mate, I feel sorry for you. You can tell that whole moderate comment is stuck in my mind. Every now and then, once a week, something just jams in my head and I just want to... But, the weakness isn't not being able to moderate the consumption of an addictive substance, right? It is science. It is science. If you abuse something enough, you will become, if you abuse an addictive substance enough, you will become addicted to it. There's so much that goes into it. Our biology as people, your mental health is a massive part of it. If you've suffered a traumatic upbringing or trauma throughout your life, if you've suffered uncomfortable situations, it could be anything from bullying, being humiliated, wetting yourself at school. It could be to the more extreme types of abuse that happen to children. It can be anything from, like it was for me, growing up in a violent, it's a bit difficult for me to talk about that, so I don't really want to go into it. But growing up in an environment where you don't feel safe, my mum and my father didn't have a great relationship. They had a really disastrous, horrific divorce, and having that to navigate growing up, a bad divorce, going and seeing your mum and dad not liking each other, then both saying horrible things to you about each other, and not really knowing where you're supposed to be, and there being a lot of trauma and stuff like that. All of this stuff goes into not feeling comfortable about yourself, about being you, and having mechanisms like wanting to make people laugh to like you. Do you know what I mean? If they're laughing, they like you. I know that I walk into a room and I want to be centre of attention, or at least seem confident, as a way to cut out anyone judging me or thinking bad of me. Although that doesn't work. It normally works in the opposite way. But my point is, it's a comfort blanket for people that don't feel comfortable in their own skin or need escape mechanisms, right? So when you were a child, if you lived through or went through traumatic times, or even as an adult, or in your, it could even be down to a bad business going wrong and losing loads of money and having like a traumatic, you can have PTSD from losing your home. Do you know what I mean? Or a bad divorce you can have PTSD from. But what I'm saying is, if there's ever a turning point in your life where you feel uncomfortable being yourself, and alcohol or drugs becomes a coping mechanism or a way to escape yourself, then addiction is twofold. It's not just the substance, the feeling, the science behind it, the biology, the alcohol in your bloodstream, the cocaine, your body feeling dependent on that. It's also a mental addiction, the escapism, and 100% that's where I was. I didn't feel like I was withdrawing from alcohol or cocaine, and I could go periods of time without it, days without it, but when life got too much, I needed it, and it destroyed me when I'd done that. So, you need to look at that. You need to look at having that coping mechanism as a weakness. Don't tiptoe around it. It's a weakness. Your coping mechanism in life is destroying you. You have become weak. You have become weak. You can't resist your coping mechanism. All right. So dedicating your life to changing how you view yourself. Like, did you see all the things I said at the beginning of this podcast? Strong, together, successful, calm. I feel like a good person. Self-esteem is high. I feel like a provider. I feel powerful. I feel like a man. I don't feel weak. But when I was on my knees, not literally, but when I was on my knees with drink and drugs, I felt weak. And I needed drink and drugs to make me feel big and better. So, just rest assured that although your journey through sobriety, wherever you're in at it, it's like going to the gym and lifting weights. Every single day that you get under your belt of sobriety, and that's why I count them, because I need the proof. Every single day you get under your belt of sobriety is like a couple of reps in the gym. You might not physically look like a beast, but your mental health is getting stronger. I'm strong now. I don't take people's shit no more. And I used to be the biggest bitch when it comes to that. I mean, only up till recently. Recently, I had someone calling me names and being horrible to me and sending me text messages and slagging me off and all of this stuff. And I was still talking to them. I was still like, yeah, mate, it's going to be all right. Whatever happens, happens. Something clicked and I was like, suck me fat one. Go away. Don't speak to me like that. And that's what I'm like now with everyone. I feel strong. I have high self-esteem. I'm a good person morally. People don't get to treat me like shit. But before, when I was addicted to alcohol and drugs, I needed cheerleaders in my life. Not literally. I needed people blowing smoke up my ass because I knew I was a bad person. I had low self-esteem. And this is what the whole thing is about. It's about getting to know yourself and liking yourself. You don't want to put it like this. When you're addicted to drink and drugs, it's like you can't stand hanging around with yourself, because imagine yourself as two people and you're hanging around with yourself, but you don't like yourself. You're like, oh my God, this person is doing my nutting. I don't like them. They're worthless. They do crap stuff. We're not together. We're not achieving nothing. Just to even spend time with them, I need to drink. I need to make this person interesting enough by drinking and taking drugs. Sobriety is being able to sit with that person with your arm around them and getting to know them and going, mate, what was all that about? Why was we doing that? Do you remember when that happened? Man, come on, talk to me. What was it about? What is it about us that meant that we couldn't get on with each other? What is it about us that meant we couldn't sit here like this? What is it? Until that conversation dies down and you're just both sat there like, all right, man, this is cool. And then when shit happens and shit gets tough out there, you can look at each other and go, what's going on? How are we going to deal with this? You don't look at each other and go, fucking, I hate being in this situation with you. Let's get smashed. I hope that made sense, because it felt weird saying it, but yeah. Another thing that you've got to do 100%, a little tool that you've got to do for your sobriety, 110%, is fast forward. What you need, right, to get through your sobriety, and this is from my personal experience, this is what I do. In order for me to progress through my sobriety and not look back and visualise great times, great sessions, sitting with friends that I no longer speak to anymore, or that, well, I do speak to them, but they don't speak to me. But I think I had a bit of an epiphany as to why some of my friends don't want to hang around with me anymore, and I think it's because I threw them all under the bus on this podcast. Not by name, not by you know, saying so-and-so done this or so-and-so done that, because you'll always hear me talk about people in my life on this podcast, but I never mention their name. But it's sort of come to me now that through my journey of admitting that I was being an arsehole and wasn't treating people right, and that I was spending all my spare time drinking and doing drugs, that I didn't really think, maybe, or I didn't maybe realise that my inner circle, people out there that know who my close friends are, I subconsciously threw them under the bus, because those close friends that I spent all my time with, that I've grown up since I was like, I'm only talking about a couple of people, maybe one person in specifically, but maybe I threw him under the bus a little bit by admitting how I behaved and what I was doing, and it wasn't great for maybe his partner or his family or his friends to hear, and it wasn't something that he wanted to admit. But I'm just going off on a little tangent there. But you know, it's all about self-discovery. So I'm discovering, I'm even looking back on this journey and what bits are right and wrong. And unfortunately, I've only got one kind of commodity in this journey of sobriety, and that's just trying to be honest about myself. And maybe there's going to be a few casualties along the way when doing that. But yeah, so going back to it, a big thing that you've got to do is always visualize your future. And this is a tool that I use, especially with my kids, when I feel like drinking or I question the journey and wonder why I'm doing it. And that is visualize the future. Be honest about the future, with drink or drugs, without drink or drugs. How does that not just look for me, but how does that look for the girls? And also that time span from now till the future. What are they going to remember? Because I know right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know 100%, I know I'm not perfect, right? I can still be a complete knobhead, right? We all are. So I know that there's definitely probably going to be parts of growing up where I've embarrassed, annoyed the girls, or let them down. Do you know what I mean? We all make mistakes, whatever. But I know without drink or drugs that the girls will look back on their future and it will be stable. They will see stability. They will know their father is someone that is annoying, embarrassing, doesn't always get things right, but they will see their father as someone that is composed, with big self-esteem, that's strong, together, successful, calm, feels like a good person, feels proud, feels like a provider, feels like a man. They won't see a drunken, sniffed up, hungover, come down, unpredictable, emotional mess of a man. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to remember, your kids, especially your daughters, are going to look at the man. That's who they're going to choose. They're going to choose a man like their father. They're going to choose a man like a father because that's what they see. That's what they see their mum has chosen. I've got a feeling, actually, talking about Shelley, she's going to walk in now. Yeah, she is going to walk in. Hold on a second. Is she coming in? Yeah, come in. Come in. You can come in. Come and grab a seat. We're just doing the podcast. Do you want to come and say hello? Pardon? Not really. You not got your face on? All right, okay. Thank you very much. Look at that. See, love.
Now isn't the right time to talk to you about my car.
About your car?
Yeah.
Why, what's happened?
Well, you've given it 2 flat tyres.
I've given the car 2 flat tyres. What, like my car's got 2 flat tyres? Do you reckon it's the pot house out up front?
Yeah, I don't think you don't miss them.
Oh no, I think that we're alright going over them. We're not alright going over them. Alright, cool. I better do my podcast. Thanks for the sausage roll. That's embarrassing. New addiction. Oh, 2 new addictions.
Yeah, they are.
Caramel latte. Oh, that's what Shelley got me.
What do you want me to do now?
No, my phone. It's my phone. Yeah, it's my phone up there. I just want to read the message that you... can you forward me that nice message that you sent me again? So,
Which one? The one in your card or the one in your phone?
the one in my... let me go back past our argument we had the other day. There we go. Not that one. Jesus. Can I share it? Okay. All right. Anyway, go. I'm trying to do a fucking podcast. Can we do this another time? Fuck. Like...
You're just not
Can you take my car up after?
Oh, no way. I've got Spanish. I can't.
What time's Spanish? Go. I'll see you in a minute. Let me finish my podcast. Sorry about that, guys. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going to read this for you at the end of the podcast, what Shelley said to me. Right. So another big part of this 2 years for me, 100%, is working out what to do with my life when I wasn't drinking. When you're not drinking, what do you do with your life? Do you know what I mean? It's mental, isn't it? It is mental. I really struggled with the idea of sobriety because I was like, what am I going to do then? Everything involves drinking, doesn't it, in our lives? Absolutely everything. I won't bore you with it, but everything I can think of. I mean, birthdays, holidays, Christmas, we went through it last podcast. Everything involves drinking. So you really need to create a new you. So if you imagine yourself as like an avatar that you're creating on a game, and it says hobbies, what does it do? Well, before, your hobbies, you know, or a dating website, when you were to put your hobbies, if you were honest, you'd be like sniffing gear, drinking, pissing everyone off, ruining my life, sitting in a pub talking to strangers, or in someone's kitchen, or going to a Weatherspoons disabled toilet with some geezer that I've known 5 minutes and racking up like whatever, right? That's not you no more. Yeah. So you need to create a new you, and you got to find other things to focus on. For me, and these will turn into addictions, but fuck it, they're positive addictions. For me, it was boxing. Everyone that follows me on social media knows it was. I ended up on Misfits boxing, beat up Simple Simon. It was a fair fight. He was a bit older than me, like 60, but it was a fair fight. Smashed the granny out of him. Anyway, you need to find new hobbies. That you need to find a new you, and by finding a new you, 110%, that means finding new things to do with your time. Because one thing you are going to have a lot of is time. Not just because you're not drinking or using drugs, but because you're not hanging, you're not hungover. You are going to lose your nights and replace them for days. Right? You were nocturnal. Now you're whatever the opposite of that is. No idea. But nocturnal. No. Yeah. Yes-turnal. So anyway, but basically, boxing was a big one for me. But it can be anything. But I 100% recommend and advise you to try and find a new fitness regime, because exercise is key to adding to your dopamine levels that you're going to lose from drinking and taking drugs. You are going to have a dopamine dip. Your body is going to be used to little pumps of dopamine from alcohol, drugs, whatever it is that you do. Me, I fully fell into a chocolate hobnob addiction. I had a pack by my bed, and I'd have 2 or 3 hobnobs a night just to get that little take the edge off the day. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what? I knew it was happening, and I didn't really care. I thought at some point I'll stop doing the hobnobs, but it really did push me actually to exercise more, because I thought I was going to put on loads of weight. Find something: walking, hiking, swimming, boxing, riding, rambling, whatever. Dogging, whatever you want to do. Maybe not dogging, but find something to focus on. A new, knitting. My mum does crochet, I think it's called. Whatever. But try and make that an exercise-based one. That's a really good thing. Also, focus on your work. You're gonna have more money. You're gonna have a little bit more money. So focus on what you want to spend your money on, what you want to invest in. Focus on your work as well. This is a great opportunity. People just say, I don't know what to do with my life. I've got nothing to do. It's such a big load of bollocks. There is so much shit that you've been putting off. I bet you've got a to-do list through years and years and years of just going wild. You've got a to-do list as long as my John Dory. Do you know what I mean? The first thing you want to do is sit down and write a massive to-do list. I think the coffee's gone to my head here. I've gone a bit weird. Write a big to-do list of everything you need to do, but focus on your work. A big part of sobriety that can keep you busy, and also is very important. And I know it's a bit wanky when they say your body and your mind, but start working on your body. Start trying to lose weight if you feel like you're overweight. Start trying to get fitter and stronger in your body, which will help your mind. And also work on your mind. That's such a big one. This is something that is never taught to us in schools. We're not taught it in schools, are we? Especially as lads, working on how to clear your mind of negative thoughts. I've done whole episodes on it. Writing, visualizing, meditation or whatever, or going to a counsellor, but work on getting your body in shape and your mind in shape. That's going to take loads of time, and it's just such a positive thing to do. Accept the change. This is a big one for sobriety, especially in the early days of sobriety, but I was fighting the changes in my life quite hard. As you can see, I still can't handle some of the friendships that I've lost, and I kind of really struggled handling the change in my social life. I felt like, oh, what am I now? Just a father and a worker. Accept that fucking change, man. You're not a child anymore. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe you are a child watching this. If you are a child, enjoy yourself. But what I mean, if you're anything like me, 40-year-old man with 3 kids, accept the change, mate. We ain't Peter Pan. How difficult is it for us men to just go, we're fucking grown up? I'm a 40-year-old man. What do I want to be sat down a fucking pub chatting shit to a load of strangers for when I've got 3 kids at home? Grow up. Accept the fucking change that's happening in your life. That is the big problem that we're going through. We get stuck in early years. Don't be upset that your 20s were better than your fucking 40s. Just look back at your 20s and think, I had a good time. And now I'm going to enjoy being a man. Now I'm going to enjoy... If you're a woman, the same for you. Just accept the changes in your life. Are you a parent? Accept it. You know what I mean? You know, it ain't all fucking Ibiza and getting touched up by Wayne Lineker. Do you know what I mean? There's more to life, right? There is more to life. And the biggest thing that we can get wrong is having one foot in the past and then struggling to put the other foot into the future. Accept the change that you're going through. You are an adult. You have responsibilities. Try and look for your happiness in different ways. It used to be enjoying yourself out, getting smashed with your friends. Look for other ways to adventure and have fun with your friends that are productive, proactive, that make you feel better, not worse. Enjoy the time with your kids. That's a massive one for me, man. Focusing on... How bad is this? I used to struggle to enjoy being a father. I'm just being honest with you. It was stressful. It was hard. I didn't know what I was fucking doing. Now, it's still hard, don't get me wrong, but I actively try and enjoy it. Put the phone down, get involved, find things to do this weekend, whatever, the holidays. Accept the change that has happened in your life. Don't fucking hang on to an old you. All right, let's start wrapping this up. I'm going to do a couple of common misconceptions that is associated with sobriety. One of them is that life is boring. It's actually the complete opposite. Like, now I'm doing so much shit, it's unbelievable. I've got so much more going on in my life. Life does not get boring. Like I said before, you just enjoy your days instead of your nights. So just look at it. Accept the change. Accept the fucking change. Just accept it. Such a big one, that, accepting it. You're swapping, just imagine this, visualize this, you're swapping your nights for your days. So instead of enjoying your nights, now you're enjoying your days. Yeah? And therefore you're enjoying actual people that are alive, not zombies off their nuts. So life isn't boring. A big one is that you won't be able to be around drunk people, or you won't be able to be around people that are off their nut. You will in the future. I can now, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't. The only time I struggle is when life's hard and I want to escape myself. I've got to a point now where I can be out with people and it does not even cross my mind. I mean, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it does. Sometimes I think, oh, everyone's getting smashed and I'm not. I'm the odd one out. But I don't sit there longing to get drunk. I look at people and I don't want the escapism. I don't want to feel weird. I don't want to feel something different. I've worked too hard on feeling good. So I promise you, you will get to a point where you can be around it. But if it's early days of sobriety, I lock myself away for 6 months. People are like, no, you're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to go out and get used to it at some point. So you should start working on it. That's bollocks. Don't. Fucking stay in, cut yourself out, work on yourself. And you will have fun. You will have fun for your sobriety. Big bits of advice for people that are starting out on their sobriety journey. Number 1, get used to yourself. Get used to your own company and get used to your own thoughts. If you find that awkward, especially, start getting used to it. The more awkward you find your time on your own means the more you need to work on getting used to your own company and your own thoughts. Number 2, get some tools together. Definitely get some tools together to make your triggers and dodgy moments feel better. Like tools like, oh, I'm going to do this when I feel like this. So if I feel like drinking, I'm going to go for a run. If I feel like I'm missing out, I'm going to read my diary of times I've got through it before. If I feel like this, I'm going to do this. Get some tools. I'm going to watch this podcast when my head starts going. I'm going to do this. Find out what makes you feel better in your sobriety. Put them in your toolbox and lean into them when you feel like you're going to crack. Number 3, build a support group. 110%, you've got to build a support group. Build a big support group. I'm so lucky I've got a massive support group. But sobriety is a lonely, lonely journey. So go to the meetings. Every single one of you out there that's trying to go sober should at least try the meetings and just see that there's other people out there. Build a community through the comments in this very video. You know, go through these videos, the podcasts and social media that you like, and start talking to people, and try and find sober people around you, or people that aren't sober around you but that support your journey, that you can lean into when you're struggling. I always cut out the middleman. When I feel triggered or I feel like I'm going to do something wrong, I cut out the middleman and tell someone about it, so it's not a secret anymore. Document your success. I don't know what I'm on now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4, document your success. You need proof. Count the days. I use the I Am Sober app where it counts the days, and I go on there and that is my document of success. I also write a journal, which is a big one to document my success. I can look back and I can see proof that I can do this. Number 5, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, man. You got to take a day and go, fucking well done this week, mate. Well done. It ain't all about what you got wrong, right? Because that's over now. We put a fork in that, what we got wrong. We look back on what we got wrong to feel the pain so we don't go back there. But we put a fork in it. And now it's all about being kind to ourselves and looking at each week and going, well done, brother. Well done, mate. You know, a day, a week. Well done. Well done. Well done. Yeah? Tell yourself that. Be proud of yourself. Number 6, change your whole life, man. And accept that change. That's a belter. Change your whole life and accept that change. Change your friendship group, especially if they're negative people. Don't be afraid to do it. Change where you go, change how you feel, change what you do, change your circles, change whatever you need to change in order for you to progress with this new part of your life. All right, wicked. So I'm going to finish up on 2 things. I'm going to finish up by showing you a beautiful video of a moment that happened, a bit of a spiritual, surreal moment that happened to me while I was on tour. I was walking into the gig at Crewe, into the Lyceum Theatre, and a homeless man, we started a conversation, we started chatting, and it was just it felt like a weird spiritual thing that this man approached me on the day I was 2 years sober. We opened this conversation, and what ended up happening was beautiful. So I want you to watch this. But before I show you that, I'd like to read you a message from Shelley that I read when things get a little bit tough, and I'm going to read this out to celebrate my 2 years sober. Just tell Shelley you're the reason. You're the reason for this change, and you have inspired me to be a better person. And I just wanted to say thank you for believing in me and trusting me and giving me the opportunity to get to 2 years sober with you, because there was definitely a time in our relationship where you shouldn't have. And I love you, and thank you for these words. From Shelley. I'm immensely proud of you. You should be immensely proud of yourself. The changes you have made have brought you positive outcomes, better home life, relationships, moral compass, and work. All greater than I'm sure you ever could have imagined 2 years ago. Your outlook towards everything is greater. The grass is greener where you water it, and you've pulled a few weeds out along the way. Some weeds look like flowers and their roots are strong, but they die off and show their true identity eventually. The road may not look like a struggle to people on the outside, but we know it has been, and it's taken some hard fucking work. People who only know you or care about you on face value and what everything looks like don't care to have a deeper connection or understanding, cannot be granted validity when they are angry and upset. They are angry and upset with themselves. It has nothing to do with you. That's her trying to reassure me of some of the stuff we've been through with other people. You are stronger than before, and people always mistake kindness for weakness. So they mistake your boundaries and strength as being unkind. It all lies with them. You don't owe anyone anything. Your conscience is clear. I love you. So I think that that's because, you know, there's a lot of words in there from Shelley, because I battle quite a lot with myself, and she's reassuring me there. But yeah, that made me feel beautiful. Wherever you are on your journey, I love you and I wish you all the success. And please share this podcast with anyone that you think may be struggling. I am on tour at the moment. I've got a few shows coming up. You can go to cdanlive.com or you can hit the link in this. I try to meet people at the shows. And yeah, 2 years, baby. I feel very positive. I want to finish the podcast on this beautiful video, so please enjoy, and always make sure that you leave me a comment, because I do try and go through and reply to all the comments on YouTube. But if you're listening to this somewhere, thank you for giving me your ears, and thank you for listening each week. Sometimes I think I'm a bit crazy just waffling on like this, but the pure fact that there's thousands of people out there listening makes me not feel like such of a lunatic and a nut job. So thank you for that. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Saturday night in Crewe, yeah? What's it like here in Crewe Saturday night? Good?
Good, yes, I believe so, my
Love
mate.
that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you, mate.
Hey, the cheese hall's very busy boozing.
Yeah.
It's packed now.
I'm here to see a comedian in here tonight.
Oh, you jammy sod, who's that? Not Ed Grumble, is it?
It's a geezer called Dan O'Reilly. Absolute belter.
Is he? Is he really good?
Proper famous on social media and that.
Right,
Bit
right.
naughty.
Come here. Hey, listen, what I'll do, when I get money, I'll pass that on.
Pass it on and you think of me
I
when
will.
you do.
What's your name?
Daniel.
I'm Tony.
Daniel
Thank
O'Reilly.
you, Daniel.
Thank you.
O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Hey,
What are
that's
you
a
doing
good
tonight? What are you doing tonight?
Well, like you say, my son's girlfriend's put me in the travel lodge.
Yeah.
So I've been ringing her trying to get. Hey, but you helped me out. I can get some tea and everything now.
Well, if you want to come and watch my show tonight in here, you're more than welcome.
What time? What time?
It starts at 8 o'clock, mate.
Right. Great. I'll be here.
If you want to,
Hey.
I've got to put your name on the door. What's your
Anthony
name?
Wilson. Anthony Mark Wilson.
Hold on a sec, mate.
Hey, I will.
Will you come?
I definitely will come.
Will you come and watch the show?
Thank you, Daniel.
I'll see you in a bit.
Hey, I will. I'll be here. What time is it now?
Yeah. I'll put it on the guest.
Hey, I'll be there, Daniel. I promise.
See this geezer up here, hello mate. Hello mate. My man asked me for some money outside. He asked me for some money outside. I said, nah, but you can have a ticket to the show. Yeah. Nah, I did give him a tenner as well. What'd you spend it on, mate? No. You had McDonald's? A couple of cans. Oh, fucking go on, my son! Walking past, and he was walking past with a bike. That was a nice bike, mate. You nicked that, didn't you? God, don't fucking lie. Cash converters. A fifth of the price it should have been. Yeah, that's a bad deal for you, mate. But not as bad as the geezer that owns the fucking bike, mate. Yeah, well, they have now, mate. Yeah. Was this a bad idea getting him in? No, I love that, mate. Welcome to the show. No. I've been on TV as well, mate. Fuck me. Not for long, mind you. Not for long. You don't do crap like that. All right, mate. Get out. I'm joking. Relax and enjoy it. Welcome.
I'll enjoy it.
Go, a couple of ladies there. All right. You wonder why I picked them fuckers here, you know, mate. What the fuck are you looking at? You racking up lights? You ain't even watching the show. What you got? Have you got someone down there sucking you off? What the fuck is he doing? You're working with me, mate. Thanks, yeah. I had a TV show, mate. I had a TV show, it was called Dapper Laughs on the Pool. It was a TV show that used to teach men how to seduce women. Yeah, but it was in a different time. It was back when you could chat women up. Yeah, you could approach them and they didn't have cocks. Pardon?
The 5-2 pickle.
The 5-2 pickle. You're in a pickle, aren't you? All right, well, let's not talk to him again. Let's. I mean, I'm used to making people laugh, but not fucking cum in the front row. Fucking this guy, man. Fuck me. It's going to take me so long to get this fucking joke out. I mean, let me know when you're all ready. Where are you going, lads? Going for a little piss, yeah? The joke's taking a while, innit? Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I ended up on Newsnight in a turtleneck, apologising. The turtles had it. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is going on tonight. This is mental, mate.
Tannery through me.
Yeah.
That proper helped me, that did it, because I had absolutely fuck all. Honestly, I'm homeless. I had fuck all. He proper helped me out there, because I bumped into Daniel outside here, and then he said I could come and see his show.
Yeah.
He threw me the tenner and he said he'd let me come and watch. And luckily I've got a good sense of humour too. I'm very fast-witted, very funny, and he's just real. He's real.
Yeah.
That's what people love about him, he's real. He's not no faults. It's no falseness about him. He's real. I've done nothing but laugh my bag off up there. I've done nothing but laugh my bag off.
And you've become a bit of the show as well.
Well, hey, yeah, but I'm not detrimental to him, am I?
No, it's all good fun.
Yeah, and we, you know, hey mate, that lad helped me out earlier. He proper helped me out.
If you're going through a tough time at the moment, please don't suffer in silence. Feel free to pick up the phone and contact any of these helplines. I personally, myself, at one of my darkest points, contacted the Samaritans, and it completely changed my outlook and got me out of a really deep, dark place. A problem shared really is a problem halved. So if you don't feel confident talking to those around you, check out any of these organisations and give them a call. This is my Facebook group. Just simply search on Facebook, Men and Their Emotions. It's for men only, but once you're in there, you can talk anonymously about your problems and help others and just feel a little bit of community. So come join the conversation, Men and Their Emotions, on Facebook. Thanks for watching.
Menace to sobriety. Just a menace. Just a menace. Just a menace. Menace to sobriety.